So I want to demonstrate a revolved Utthita Parsvottanasana. So last week we did Parsvottanasana, which is that extended side angle one, and then there's a revolved one, but we haven't done it in quite some time. So first of all, we'll warm up the body and stuff before we get there. But remember revolved, and we'll do reverse warrior like we did last week. Utthita Parsvottanasana was this one that we did. So if you feel like you do want to go deeper in it, you can have your block, place your hand on it. But what you're wanting is your shoulders stacked. So if you go deeper and then all of a sudden you find yourself kind of like this, then you're better off up and open chest, because then you're going to get more of this extension. So we will eventually come down onto our knee and be standing on one knee, and we'll move in and out like we've done in the past in this one. And we'll end up coming over and then taking this right hand and twisting. I'll turn the other direction too in a minute so you can see, twisting toward our leg. So we want to make sure that we're not overarching in our back. Some of you will slide your elbow down and your hands will, I'll turn in this direction so you can see. So if we're in this direction, your elbow comes down and you turn your palm out and maybe palm stack. And if they do, you're going to press in and just maybe hold right here if you'd like, or you tuck your back toe under and lift that leg up. So that may not be accessible to you. You might have your knee down. You might just stay here. Okay, so you can choose what is your level as we go through it. And if you want your block handy for the going deeper in the Utthita Parsvottanasana. Other than that, I think most of the stuff you pretty much know. So if you'll find, hi Don, if you'll find a place on your back, and we're going to bend our knees and just pull your knees into your chest for a minute and take your time just to feel into the back so that you can just get your back comfortable. You might want to do a couple of apanasanas, whatever it is for you. So our intention, obviously, as we're doing this one, is to open our hips in a very yin manner while we do our pranayama. So when you feel ready, if you'll place your feet on the floor, so you've got bent knees, and bring the feet right together, feel the knees touching. And if you'd like to do an open chest and open shoulder thing at the same time, take your elbows out just below the height of your chest, so being right across the chest, just let your elbows be just a little bit lower than that. And then drop the back of your hands back toward the floor. So perhaps the hands touch the floor. And then you can lift your chest and kind of pull your shoulders down and tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. So if that feels appropriate, if that's not, you can certainly extend your arms straight out or whatever you'd like to do, or leave them down by your body. So let's just focus here for a minute, because that probably created an arch in your back. So we're going to want to exhale and push into our feet and pull our pelvis back into the floor. So we're flattening the back. You might even want to lift up your hips and flatten that back in, and then gently let go. When you go to take your next inhale, just softly open your knees wide apart, just nice and slow. And when you're ready, you're going to just softly bring them back up. We're not going to push into our feet or anything. Just move in and out in that position, bringing blood flow into the pelvic floor, the inner thighs, the knees, even into the feet, actually, as we're coming in and out here. So I invite you, when you come open the next time, if you can pause there with your knees open and the soles of your feet together, And remember, you can always take your block if this is too much for you and place your blocks underneath your upper thigh so it lifts your knees up a little higher. And of course, you can always close legs if you find that necessary. And if you'll just bring your awareness to the space in between your eyebrows and just feel yourself soften that area. Bring it to the jaw and just take a moment to let your teeth separate and just relax your jaw. Then move it to the base of your head and your neck. And as you pause there, just let your chin soften in slightly. Some comfortable place where you can just let go. You're not feeling any tension in your neck. Allow your awareness just to float down through your throat and pause right there at your heart center, right in the center of the chest. And I invite you, as you just follow an exhalation, to just be willing to let go. Feel yourself soften. If you need to adjust your body at all, sometimes after you've taken a few breaths, you might need to adjust your pelvis or your legs. Each time you inhale, just set the intention to let yourself soften, and each time you exhale, just gently let go a little further. Just slide your awareness down to your navel and turn that breath into your diaphragmatic breath if you haven't already. So as you do follow that exhalation, now you're feeling the navel gently drawing down in toward the mat. And as you inhale, you're feeling the navel raise up toward the ceiling. Just find a pace of breath that's comfortable for you. And as you take your exhalation the next time, see if you can let go a little further and soften all the way down the legs. And just notice the toes gently touching together, the ball mounts of the toes and the heels. And let's just invite our breath to deepen now and move into Dirshwasam. So if you take a nice slow exhalation, and on your next inhale, feel that belly raise up toward the ceiling, and then let the rest lift up into the rib cage and up and behind the collarbones. And then feel it all softly wave back down until that navel draws in. Notice how the breath is passing over the back of your throat, and go ahead and create your Ujjayi breath if you haven't already. Just set your intention to softly let go, but at the same time, increase the duration of your exhalation to a 5 count or longer, depending on your body. Exhale. Notice the gentle pause at the end of your inhalation. And we're going to do some Kriya rotations as we're breathing here. So when you go to take your next exhalation, draw your conscious attention all the way down to your tailbone. As you inhale, draw your awareness up as though you're moving the awareness right at the center of your spine to the space in between your eyebrows. And you're just going to pause the breath for as long as you feel comfortable, and then allow your exhale to move your awareness down the back of the head and down through the outside of the spine, back to your tailbone. And then when you're ready, come back up again through the center of the spine. Gentle pause at the space in between the eyebrows whenever you're ready. And of course, letting go when you feel ready, bringing the awareness back over the head and down the outside of the spine. You can even lift your eyes up toward the space in between your eyebrows as you pause the breath, and then gently soften them again as you take your exhalation. And next time that you exhale, all the way down to your tailbone, just let go of any control of your breath. If your arms are still up into a open-hearted position, let them come down alongside your body and just let your palms rest down. If you've had to close or move your legs out of the open knee position, perhaps you can slide into that position again. Move any blocks out from under our legs now. Before we do anything, let's just take an exhalation, tilt our pelvis back into the mat here, and then just inhale and gently let go again. When you're ready to take that exhalation again, tilt the pelvis back, but push firmly into your feet and then lift your knees up about halfway. Really activate every muscle through the glutes, the inner thighs, and then all the way back down as you soften through the inhalation. Be sure to keep your sacrum, your buttocks down on the floor. You may feel the glutes activate each time you take that exhalation. That's great. That's what we want. We're also feeling the inner thighs. Might feel a little shaky. We just don't want to lift the buttocks off the floor. At least not in this one. We're trying to isolate different muscles. When you end up taking your exhalation up the next time and you pause there, when you're ready to inhale, close the knees back together and bring your knees into your chest. So I'm going to ask you to really feel your core engage as you pull those knees into your chest and extend your right leg straight up toward the ceiling. We're going to warm up our hamstring, the back of the leg, work our core and warm up our shoulder at the same time. Now remember, you can put your left foot on the floor if you need to. We're going to move our left hand, so kind of move the fingers of that left hand just to wake up your brain a little. Take an exhalation, pull your leg toward you as you gently pull the belly in and pause for a 2-count pause. And then inhale and extend the leg down toward the floor as you reach the left arm up over the head, not touching the floor. And when you're ready to exhale, activate your core, pull up from the belly, bring the hand all the way to the floor and pull that leg in, and if possible, 2-count pause. If you need to skip the 2-count pause, that's fine. Just move in and out, going the distance that's okay, where you feel like you're using your core, not your back. And if you do start feeling like you're using that back, please put your left foot on the floor, press the left foot into the mat to keep your pelvis back, and then move the right leg up and down. Now, when you come in your next time and you take your 2-count pause, take your time, you're just going to bend your right knee into your chest. Relax the belly for just a moment. Now extend your left leg straight up. Now pull that right knee firmly in toward the belly. We're going to leave it there. Wiggle the fingers of that right hand, and whenever you're ready to inhale, begin to lower your left leg as you extend the right arm up and over your head. Reach way up. Activate the core as you bring that leg back, and see if you might be able to hold the belly in for a 2-count pause. When you're doing your 2-count pause, see if you can keep your neck relaxed. Let your chin soften in towards your throat. When you go to take your next exhale, once you complete your pause, just bend both of your knees into your chest. Relax the belly. Slide your arms out into a T shape and just take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower your legs over to the left, and maybe you can turn your head to the right. You're just going to warm up through this twist here into the back and inhale back to the center. And when you're ready, you'll take your exhale over to the right side. You're going to do that again, so just take your time. Only going as far as you feel comfortable in your spine. When you finish that last exhalation over to the right, just come to the center of your body and hold your right knee into your chest once you get there, and extend your left leg straight out. Now, if you'll let go of your right knee and just hold it there with the strength of your core, we're going to take a deep breath in and now exhale the right knee across the body. Really emphasize the belly pulling in as you turn. This is a little bit like what you're going to feel like in that revolved, and then you'll inhale back to center, that revolved Utthita Parsvottanasana. We're going to exhale over again, really activate the core. Now, the last two that we're going to do, you can keep your knee bent, or you can straighten the right leg. And as you take your exhalation, you'll cross over and towards your left hand, being mindful to pull the belly in. Try to keep your right shoulder down. But if it feels too much to have the leg straightened, then just keep it bent. Once you've finished those two, let yourself just roll back onto your back and bring both of your knees into your chest. So no hurry. Everybody's a little different in their timing. Now let's extend our right leg straight out. Bring those arms out, holding the knee just with the strength of our core. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, activating the core and turning our head to the left as the knee comes over to the right. And then back to the center. So we're also, not only working the core and through the spine, but you're working through the whole outer hip as we're doing this. You can either extend your legs straight for the last couple, or you can keep the knee bent. When you do come back after those two, just come back to the center and bend both of the knees into your chest. So we're going to roll up into table pose. So take your time. When you get into your table, just check that your knees are hip bone distance apart and your hands are underneath your shoulders with your fingers spread wide. And you can either come into down dog, or of course you can come into a child's pose if you need to. But first, let's just take an exhalation, and we're going to drop our tailbone and arch up toward the ceiling and drop our chin in. And then when you're ready to inhale, start with the tailbone, let the pelvis tilt forward, and then begin to contract your upper back and pull the chest through and lift the chin. And go ahead and do one more like that. When you do begin to take your next exhalation, we're going to press up into a down dog unless you're choosing to come in to a extended child's pose. So when you get into your down dog, your feet are hip bone distance apart. You're going to soften your shoulders away from your ears. We're going to inhale up onto your toes and then bend our right knee and soften the left heel down toward the floor. And then, of course, we'll inhale back up, soften the left knee, and let the right heel come down. So working through the feet, the calves, the ankles, just move in and out of that. And of course, you can pull forward into table and do this for those of you that are in the child's pose, and just extend your right leg and push through the heel and then bend the knee and then re-push and do a few on that side. And then you can come and do it on the left side. And that'll work through the Achilles tendons and the feet. So let's sink both of the heels down. Again, softening the shoulders away from our ears. We'll take another deep breath in, and when you go to exhale, just soften through your knees and step to the end of your mat where your feet are in Uttanasana, hip bone distance apart. You can have bent knees or straight. You're going to fold over your legs and let your elbows come close in. Feel that space in between the shoulder blades. Now, I'm just for the purpose of exploring, let your elbows stick out to the side. Notice what happens in your neck and shoulders if you let your elbows come out wide. You kind of grip through the neck. But when we take the elbows in, it broadens right through that upper back and softens through the neck. So let's go ahead and take one more exhale here. Activate your bandhas and inhale partway up, flattening the back, and then let yourself exhale in. And when you're ready, you're going to come all the way up, either bent knees or straight. Use of the bandhas, lead with the heart all the way up. You'll end up with your hands at your heart center when you're finished. And just take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, open your eyes. When you're ready to inhale, reach back up over your head and lead with your heart all the way down. Feel free to bend those knees, let the elbows come in. We're going to inhale part way up and exhale toward our legs when you're ready. And then let yourself come all the way back up again. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to open your eyes. We're going to do it again now. We'll inhale up when you're ready. This time we're going to add on, and we'll exhale over. And of course, once you're there, you'll inhale partway up. We're going to step back with our right leg, finding Virabhadrasana 1 with the right leg behind us. Bend your knee and see that's in line with your ankle, and then straighten it again. And then bend just to be sure, because we're going to move in and out, working through the front of the body. So we'll have our left hand on our waist with our leg straight. As we inhale, we're going to lift the right arm up, and then we'll exhale and straighten and bring that right arm back down. So just move in and out of that, reaching up fully so you're stretching right through that psoas muscle from the hip all the way up to the rib cage. Feel your glute, your right heel, and activate your right glute each time you come back. Now we're going to inhale and hold there. So we have our right arm up. I'm going to ask you to keep your knee bent and bring your right arm down. Bring both hands back behind you with your palms up. Now inhale and see if you can bring those arms back and all the way up, straight up out of your shoulders. Then pause and drop your tailbone towards your front heel. Let your rib cage draw in if you're overarching there. Find your drishti, slight internal rotation of the back leg. The legs are gently drawing toward each other. So we're going to take one more deep breath in. As we go to exhale, just straighten your leg, and we'll be turning to the right so that we can find Vera 2. Have your block nearby if you think you might want to use it. I'm going to put it behind my foot for a minute here. Check that your foot is straight. Check that I got to line up my feet. Your right foot is parallel, left foot's at a 90 degree. And just bend here for a minute and check the alignment. Just move in and out. So we're going to do our reverse warrior first. So if you will take your right hand to your back leg, left hand is up. We'll inhale into this left leg and lean over to the right as we gaze back toward that right foot. And then exhale back when you are ready. Each time you inhale, just, or at least in the first couple, make sure that you can see your big toe, that you're keeping that knee in line with your ankle. And after you kind of get the feel of that, you don't have to check it each time. Feel that stretch all the way through the left rib cage as we're working through both of the legs. We're going to pause there now, reaching back, pulling the front knee back toward our baby toe, letting the breath expand through the left side of the body. And actually feel yourself sort of gently draw the muscles of the legs toward one another here. Same as we did last week. Take one more deep breath in. As we exhale, we're just going to straighten our leg and let the hand come down. Good. Now, bend back in, find all of your alignment for Vera 2. So you have a nice open chest and almost like an external rotation of both legs, and then bring your arms out. We'll inhale over our front leg and put the hand down or the elbow down. Turn your palm up and reach over your head straight as you can with that arm. If you otherwise, hand on the shoulder and lift your elbow. Now you can decide, make sure you're not overarching in your back, tuck your tailbone, check your rib cage. You can decide if you want to take that hand down on the block. And you can, of course, adjust your block to whatever depth you want. And sometimes the easiest drishti is down toward the floor, but you see what you feel in your body. Feel your legs strongly drawing toward one another. Activate your glutes. Trying to distribute your weight in the back leg as much as the front. Front leg's going to obviously take more. You're going to take one more deep breath in. If you can, you're going to windmill down to the floor. And we're going to set our right knee on the floor, or whatever way gets you there, right? So stand up on that right knee and try to let the left leg be as straight as you can. So we're now exactly what we were doing standing, but we're doing it on top of our knee. So if it bothers your knee, you can stand and do this. Left hand's on the waist when you get your balance. If you can, you're going to inhale forward and lift the arm. Good. And then exhale back. And just move with your rhythm of breath. Good. Just moving in and out. Now, when you come forward the next time, this is where we're going to pause. So you have the twist, whatever's going to work the best for you. You can just slide that hand over to the side. So you're in this position. Or you can come down and put your elbow down there. And your palm is going to, your fingers are going to face towards the top of your head. And maybe your palms will come on top of each other. Yep, so you're twisting toward, and actually, Michelle, you're going to want your right elbow down. So you're twisting toward, there you go. Yep. And then some of you might decide to tuck your toe under and lift your back leg up if you want to challenge even further. You may not, and that's totally fine. Breathing here. You see why we twisted in the beginning of class. Squeeze the legs gently together. If you can take 2 more breaths, great. If you're ready to come out and step into downward facing dog. Or a child's pose if you prefer that. Feel free to take whatever movement you feel like doing. If you feel like swaying your hips from side to side or bending and straightening the legs. I'm going to switch sides of the mat so when we do the next one, I'll be able to see you. So we're going to take another deep breath in. As you exhale, step to the end of your mat, fold over into Uttanasana. And I invite you just to pause here. Let your elbows come in. Let your weight shift a little bit forward into the front of your feet. Bend your knees if you need to. Slight internal rotation of your legs. Take an exhalation all the way down to your feet, softening your toes, and then inhale your awareness up the back of the legs and exhale right down through the crown of your head. So I invite you, if you'll let yourself have an exhalation, let your elbows draw in. Inhale part way up, activate your bandhas, and then you'll exhale back in. We're going to inhale our way all the way back up, leading with the heart. Our exhale will bring us down to our heart center, chin to our chest. Just take an inhalation, and as you take your exhale, open your eyes, and we'll inhale back up again. We'll be adding on as we exhale down. We'll be stepping back. We'll inhale partway up and step back with our left leg, finding Virabhadrasana 1. So whatever way gets you there. Once you're there, take your time to square off your hips, bend and straighten your leg until you know that you have your alignment. And then take your right hand to your waist and lift your left arm up. So this is the one we're going to be using here. So take a deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, straighten and bring the hand down. And then inhale and move that arm back up. And just move in and out. Of course, this challenges our balance as we're working through stretching the quadricep and the strength of the legs. As you come forward your next time, pause there with the knee bent. But then if you would, draw your hands back and bring your palms up and then lift them up. So you're kind of coming around the clavicle bone, and then let your tailbone gently move toward your heel. Find your drishti. See if you might be able to feel your legs gently drawing toward one another in the activation of your glutes. So we're going to take another deep breath in. As soon as you're ready to exhale, just straighten your leg. We'll pivot to the left now to find our Viratu. Check that back foot parallel to your mat, and your right foot is at a 90 degree and in line with your arch. And then bend and straighten. Of course, you'll want, if you're going to use your block, you'll want to bring it close by. Sometimes it ends up on the other side of the mat. So as we're bending and straightening, just to check that we've got our foot straight, we've got our knee alignment. So if I move this out of the way, my foot is straight, my knee is in line, and it's not going past my ankle, or I need to go wider. So let's straighten that leg and just let our left hand come down, right palm up. Soften through the toes, and as you inhale, aim that knee towards your baby toe, lift up and move over to the left. And just exhale when you're ready and straighten. Just let it feel good. Find your rhythm of breath. See if you can feel all that stretch as you lift and reach over to the left. All that stretch through that right side, all the lats, the intercostal muscles of those rib cages. Now, as you come over the next time, we're going to pause there if you can. Perhaps your drishti can be back towards your back foot. You're going to pull your knee gently over to the right. Be aware that you're comfortable in your back, dropping your tailbone. You're going to take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, just straighten your leg. Let your hand come down. Good. So if you want your block, we'll put it back in place and bend the knee. Arms are out, chest is open. Remember, this whole movement here in this asana is about your chest being open. So when you're ready, just come over the leg and let your elbow come down or your hand come down. And once you do that and you've got your elbow, you're just going to reach over your head. So this is the extended one done instead of the revolved one. So you can keep your elbow right there on the leg and your arm comes over your head, or hand at the shoulder and you lift your elbow, whichever your shoulder will allow. Maybe the hand comes down on the block. Let your head softly turn to a comfortable place for you. Activate your glutes. So we'll take one more deep breath in. And when you're ready, windmill down to the floor if you can, or get there whatever way works until you have your right knee down on the mat. Left knee, not your right one, left knee. You're going to stand up on that left knee and your right leg will be straight. Good. So right hand is now on the waist. We'll inhale forward. Make sure you're comfortable on your kneecap, because sometimes if you get sideways on the kneecap, you might have to lift up the knee and then place it back down, or come to standing if it's too much. And of course, each side of our body is different. So when we came into the twist on the other side, this is a balance when we do this. So use your awareness there. We're going to pause as we come forward now. And it's going to be the left elbow that crosses over to the right. So we're crossing over the body. And then maybe the elbow comes down. Maybe the hand comes out now toward your crown of your head, and then your arms stack. You just gently push into your hands, lifting the chest a bit if you can. And then you can decide about trying to tuck that back toe under and lifting that leg. Might not be appropriate. If you do have very strong legs, push through your back heel. If you can take a couple more breaths, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you just unwind and come into a downward dog or a child's pose. When you get into your down dog, if you're in a child's pose, you can just extend your arms straight up over your shoulders and just get an extension through the spine. If you're in your down dog, just check that your feet are hip bone distance apart. Feel free to take any movement that you might feel you want. Going to take one more deep breath in and then just exhale down onto your knees. So we're going to come into elbow plank. So we've done this one before. I was going to demonstrate this, I forgot. So we're going to bring our elbows down onto the floor and interlace our fingers. And we have our elbows underneath our shoulders. Now, one option is walk your knees back away from your hips and then drop your tailbone down until you feel your core just engage and gently squeeze your arms. That's one option. Or tuck your right toes under and just lift the right leg up as you do that. or tuck both of the toes under and lift both legs up. Your head's an extension of the spine, and you're breathing here. When you go to take your next exhalation, just slide into a child's pose. If your arms can soften down alongside the body, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you can place your hands under your head. The main intention is that you can really soften and let go. You can let your shoulders roll forward. We're going to do that one more time here. So take your time and come on up into table again. And then come down onto your forearms and let those elbows come close in and interlace your fingers. Slide your knees back behind you and then choose which one is best for you. If it's both legs up off the floor, one leg, knees on the floor, whatever it is, soften your neck and shoulders as best you can. But feel yourself kind of pressing gently into your arms because you're definitely working your shoulders and your arms as well as your core. If you want to be sure that you're feeling the grip in the core, if you have your buttocks too low, you won't. If you have it up too high, you won't feel anything in your core either. So you'll feel it when you find it. When you're ready, just slide back and into a child's pose. Soften your belly, soften your arms. You can have your knees wide apart or close together, whatever feels best to you. Really feel that breath come right up into the back body, maybe even feeling it right in between the shoulder blades. And then feel the hollowness between the pubic bone and the navel as you exhale. So when you finish your next exhalation, if you'll come on up into table, we're actually going to move into pigeon right from table pose. Now, if you know you need to do pigeon on your back, then go ahead and slide onto your back. We're going to take our right knee up behind our right wrist and cross our foot over as best we can and slide the left leg straight back. If you're on your back, you're going to take your right ankle on top of your left knee and then slide back. And then just ease your way in. Remember, you can always put a blanket underneath your hip or a block if you need to. You can come onto your elbows or you can extend all the way down, whatever it is for you. I just want to invite you to, you can definitely drop your left hip a little bit. Feel where you get the best stretch for you without compromising your joints at all. And I'm going to invite you to really float into letting go with your breath. So if you like that central channel breathing where you exhale down to your foot and then you inhale up to the belly and you exhale your awareness to the crown of your head and then you inhale back to the belly and exhale down to your foot, you can do that one. Or if you like just staying with the 3-part breath, whatever it is for you, just float into that breath and do your best to let go. As we release through the hip, we're also releasing through our backs. And of course, if you need to come out before I've said anything, always practice ahimsa, non-harm, and do what's right for your body. I'm going to take one more deep breath in. As you take your exhalation, you're just going to come into table again. Now, when you find yourself in table, align your knees underneath your hips, hands under your shoulders. We're going to exhale, dropping the tailbone, arching up just like we did before, ribbon through the spine. Maybe chin can drop toward the chest. Inhale, the tailbone lifts. We start riveting the other direction, contracting the back muscles. At the very end, lifting the chin. And just go ahead and do that again. After you complete that one, that second one, just come into neutral with your spine, and you're going to come back into pigeon with your left leg forward. Those of you who need to come on your back, come on to the back. Sometimes we can do it on one side and then we can't do it on the other because of our knee or our hip. So as you come in, just be aware that each side of the body is different. Be sure that you're on top of the back of your leg. And then just sink softly into it, little by little. Once you find a place where you can soften into it, go back to finding the breath of your choice. If you can relax your jaw, soften the space in between your eyebrows. Next time you follow an exhalation, just press back into your table position again. Take your time. Find your alignment, and when you're ready, start riveting, dropping the tailbone, lifting up into your little cat arch, and moving the pelvis in the other direction. Opening the front of the spine, then contracting the upper back. And we'll do that again. Once you finish those two, just work your way onto your back. We're going to work a little bit further into twisting, but working through the upper back, which we've done before, doing the arrow pose. So with your arms out into a T shape, and you can always set a blanket, by the way, on the side of the body. So if you need to do that to make your back feel comfortable, we're going to take a deep breath in and exhale our legs over to the left side of the body. And we're actually going to take our left hand and bring it, sorry, did I say left side of the body? I better go to the left then. We're going to take our left hand and bring that left hand right on top of the right hand. Now we're going to take an exhalation here, pull your belly in. As you inhale, slide that left hand along the right arm and back to your left shoulder. Pause there, exhale, and drop the left shoulder back to the floor. Inhale and try to straighten that left arm as you turn and look toward that left hand. Then as you exhale, pull your belly in, bring that left hand across the chest and all the way back on top of your right hand. When you're ready to inhale, start drawing that right hand along the arm and back to your left shoulder. Pause, and as you exhale, sink that shoulder down toward the floor as best you can. And then inhale and extend the arm. And of course, your exhalation is going to bring you back. So you can just find your rhythm of breath. This is actually the very muscles that we use when we're driving and we go to look over our shoulder to turn. So I'm going to invite you, when you come over the next time where your left arm is extended, pause there for a moment. Just leaving the left arm extended. Let your head be in some comfortable place. See if you can soften your left shoulder down. Sometimes picking up the right shoulder blade and sort of lifting up out of it allows the left shoulder to come down. We're going to take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, just activate your core and the knees come back to the center. Now you might find that your shoulders and your hips are off center. So align your hips and your shoulders again with one another. And just do a couple Asanas. As you exhale, feel your navel draw in. Inhale and extend, excuse me, the arms straight with hands on the kneecap. And just do that one more time. So now this time, when you exhale those legs in, we're going to gently drift them over to the left side of the body. So we'll be stacking the hands right on top of one another. Take a deep breath in and we'll draw that hand back to the shoulder, the top hand back to the shoulder. As you exhale, sink that shoulder back down toward the mat. And then inhale and extend the arm straight as you turn the head to the extended arm. And then exhale and completely unwind out of it. So it's really a 3-step to get in that position. You're going to draw back to the shoulder with that inhale, and then you just pause, pull the belly in and exhale and sink the right shoulder back. And then inhale and extend. And again, you can have something under your knees to lift the knees up a little bit if you need to. And just notice if you can feel the difference from twisting from one side to the other. When you end up opening up the next time, where you have both of your arms out into that T shape, then I'm going to invite you just to pause there again. Let your head be in whatever position's most comfortable for you. When you're ready to take an exhalation, just lift those knees. Again, you may have to realign your shoulders with your hips with your shoulders, I should say. And then just do a couple of Asanas. Just taking that back into neutral after twisting. After you've done those couple of Asanas, feel free to either continue with those or move into your happy baby pose, whatever you want to do to complete your asana practice. Let yourself just get comfortable in your body. And then you might want to adjust your lighting depending on where you are, or put your socks on or a blanket over you or under your knees. You know, as we move all of that energy and tension out of the body, then we can sink a little further into that awareness of moving away from the mind, where we can just be within our center. So as you extend the body out, to see if you can once again let go, let your feet fall open, let your chin soften in towards your throat. And I just invite you to take an inhalation and move your awareness up to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, just silently say hum and move your awareness down to your feet. And then inhale, so right back up to the crown of your head. Hum all the way back down. Just feel that vibration in your throat. Notice the wave-like effect of the breath. And next time that you exhale all the way down to your feet, just gently let go of any control of your breath. And just begin to witness the wave-like effect of your breath as it gently rolls into the body. And it just gently rolls out just effortlessly. Just know that it's your willingness to softly let go that allows you to move towards your center. As we gently let go, there's nothing weighing on us, there's no burdens. So as we follow our inhalation, we can feel this feeling of openness or expansion. I invite you just to lift your awareness to the space in between your eyebrows. Just feeling that area soften and broaden. Bringing your awareness down to the notch in your throat. And just gently separating your teeth. And allow your tongue to softly move away from the roof of your mouth. Just drift your awareness out to the tops of your shoulders. And when you get there, feel your shoulders soften back and down. Notice how your body is completely supported and that there's safety in just letting go. And as you follow your next exhalation, just allow a softness to wash down through the arms, all the way down to the palms of the hands, and washing down through each one of your fingers and your thumbs. Just giving yourself permission to let go of your upper body completely. And just pause and witness the wave-like effect of your exhalation. Knowing that each exhale is bringing you more and more peace, more and more calm. And I invite you just to move your awareness to your heart center and to the wave-like effect of your inhalation. And each time you follow that inhalation, just imagine it's like warm sunlight coming right through the heart center, just filling every cell of the body with a feeling of harmony, openness, expansion. I invite you just to float your awareness up to the crown of your head. And when you're ready to follow an exhalation, just allow a wave of softness to come down the body, where you feel like you're just letting go until it just washes right down through the soles of your feet. And you can let go of your body completely. And just pause, taking in the peace that resides here. Always here, just waiting for us to pause. And as you just begin to deepen your breath, I invite you to just pause, take a moment to scan the body. Maybe you'll associate a word that feels right for you today. Feel your breath. And today I want to share out of the book, The Untethered Soul, by Michael Singer. And I'm going to kind of throw you in the middle of this book. It's about transcending the tendency to close, to close ourselves down. It says, when you close down and protect yourself, you are pulling a shield around the part of you that is weak. This is the part that feels it needs to needs protection, even though no physical attack is taking place. Excuse me. If you really want to grow, you have to do the opposite. There is no part of you that you're not willing to see. The mind is no longer divided into the consciousness and the subconsciousness. When you feel the pull, like somebody pulling on your heart, you just let go. You fall behind it. You simply relax, release, and no matter how many times you're pulled, that's how many times you relax and release. Because the tendency to get drawn in is constant. Therefore, the willingness to let go and fall behind it has to be constant as well, And I look at that as having an intention of being in that place where you're willing to let go. There is nothing wrong with feeling the energies of fear, jealousy, or attraction. It's not your fault that such energy exists. All the attractions, repulsions, thoughts, and feelings don't make any difference. They don't make you pure or unpure. They are not you. You are the one who's watching you, and that one is pure consciousness. Don't think you'd be free if you just didn't have these kind of feelings. It's not true. If you can be free even though you're having these kind of feelings, then you're really free, because there will always be something. Ultimately, even if terrible things happen, you should be able to live without emotional scars and impressions. If you don't hold these issues inside, you can go about your life without getting psychologically damaged. No matter what events take place in life, it is always better to let go rather than to close. Once you've let go, every minute of every day, year after year, then that's where you'll live. Nothing will be able to take your seat of consciousness from you. I like that because that's like we've been talking about in this session about your ability to choose and respond to life instead of reacting to the circumstances. So I just invite you to bring yourself on up into your centering position. And I'm not saying that that is an easy process, but the more, like the book says, the more and more you practice it, set the intention, the easier it becomes, the less reactive we become, the less defensive we are, the less we feel the need to protect ourselves. We can be free in that space. So I just invite you, if you will, to take a nice slow exhalation and just notice how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And then if you would, let's just inhale, let our arms float up to the hands come together in Anjali Mudra. Let's float down to our forehead just to remind us of those mindful thoughts, and at our mouth for mindful words, and our heart center for mindful actions. And namaste, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being